Alright, we're looking at some unit rate problems, and with unit rate, just understand that that means that's a singular term, unit. We're trying to put something over 1. We're going to use a denominator of 1. So in this case, Michael rides his bike 24 miles in 3 hours. What is the rate he rode his bike in 1 hour? Now you're going to say to me right away, you just do 24 divided by 3. This might not be that difficult of a problem for you, but I want to show this to you using units because as we kind of go on with rates, not just in the 6th grade but beyond, you're going to need to be doing the workout a certain way because using rates, it can sometimes get confusing in terms of what goes on the top, what goes on the bottom, that sort of thing. So you see down here, I've set the problem up. I've got 24 miles on top and 3 hours on the bottom. And it's important that I wrote the unit next to these because when I say that this equals something over here, I want to be able to explain my rate using the units in the same position. So you can see here to get from 3 hours is a unit rate. Like we said, we want the denominator to be 1. So to get from 3 to 1, we divided by 3. And if these things are in fact equal, that means we divided by 3 on the top here as well. So we took 24 miles and divided that by 3. And we got 8 miles. So the rate that he rode his bike in 1 hour would be about 8 miles per hour. You could say that maybe he rode his bike faster or slower at a certain point. We don't know that based on what's in the problem, but we know that on average he ran 8 miles per 1 hour. Let's look at another problem. This one's going to be with money. And this is unit pricing, but unit pricing, it's the same thing as unit rate. Now it's just with money. So the denominator is going to be some unit. In this case, we're going to be talking about gallons of ice cream. Selena bought 3 gallons of ice cream for a party she is having. Hopefully she invites us. The total cost came to $15.87. At the party, a friend said to her, "Hey, how much money did you spend per gallon?" Maybe they thought they were trying to stump Selena, I don't know. Selena was able to tell the friend using unit pricing. So what did she do to figure that out? Well, we start with the amount of money over the units. In this case, like we said, we're going to use gallons. So it's $15.87 total for 3 gallons. And you can see again in this problem, just ironically, same thing as the last problem, we divide by 3. And that leaves us with 1 gallon in the denominator. That's what we want. The denominator is 1. And I'm going to divide $15.87 by 3. And so some of you might need a refresher on dividing decimals. And I have 3 into 15.87. First thing we have to realize is that the decimal is going to stay here. We don't need to move the decimal at all since our divisor 3 didn't have a decimal. 3 goes into 15 5 times. We'll get 15 to go in there evenly. So we can subtract from here. 15 minus 15 is 0. Bring down that 8. And we actually don't have to worry about that decimal anymore. So we'll get the 8 there. 3 goes into 8 2 times. And 2 times 3 will be 6. We'll put that down here. We subtract again. 8 minus 6 will be 2. Bring down the 7. And that 7, 3 goes into that 27 9 times. And just a quick little glance here, that makes sense. $5.29 times 3, that should equal about that. So it would be $5.29 per 1 gallon. Again, make sure you mark the unit here. So I'm going to put a dollar symbol. A lot of times you have to write the unit, the word, like we did here with gallon. Or gallon can actually be abbreviated GAL. But you do need to include the units. That's good practice for when we start doing units that you're maybe not as familiar with, and sometimes it gets harder to keep track of what goes on the top, what goes on the bottom.